of our newer sound stages, 22 and 23, which are directly behind them. We'll pass 23 as we turn the corner here in just a moment. The first production to move into these two sound stages, here they were the first of the newer sound stages to be built, was the reboot of Will and Grace. America's Got Talent, as well as So You Think You Can Dance, and again, that reboot of Punky Brewster, filmed in both of these currently. In 22 and 23, this is where Kenan Thompson, star of Saturday Night Live, films his new comedy Kenan. He films the interiors of his house and the television station where he works on the show inside the soundstage. He films the exteriors of those places in the back lot, which is where we're headed. Now, we were in the front, we're headed to the back. In the back lot where we film all the big stuff, big exterior, the outside stuff on a very grand scale. You will see, I think, on your right-hand side, our Metro sets, New York Metro sets, favorites with filmmakers from around the world that come from all over the film here. One area they love to use, Brownstone Street. Still on your right, you're going to see the 5 sets of stairs over here on your left-hand side that make up the brownstones that make up the area, or give the area its name, I should say. You may recognize it as the front of Jim Carrey's place in the film Bruce Almighty. Wow. And do we have any Home Alone 2 Boston, New York fans?
Yeah!
I heard a yeah! This is Kevin McAllister's aunt and uncle lived here. Remember they were out of town, their place was having construction done? This is where Kevin led the wet bandits into their home so he could wreak havoc on them again like he did in the first film. But we're going to make a short trip out of the residential area and into the big city, the Big Apple, New York City, where I'm handing things off to my co-host.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York!
I was here a couple months ago filming a portion of their season, and you can see those sets in a film that's in theaters now, The Forever Purge. They turned it into downtown El Paso for the film. We're going to not spend a lot of time in the concrete jungle big city because we are heading off to the prehistoric jungle of Skull Island, home to the legendary King Kong. This is one of the places where we're going to ask everyone to take a look at the mask on until we leave that attraction.
I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in the edge. And Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board a ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters, creatures. We have created this 3D immersive experience, so you don't have to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to the sky.
Before we return to Skull Island, I'm once again going to remind everyone to please, just until we exit the attraction, please have your mask on. Make sure you remain in your seats. Hang on to your belongings. Turn the flashes off. I repeat, no FF off on your cameras. We are now returning to Skull Island.
Go again!
We're back in Skull Island.
largest viewing experiences in the world.
Nothing.
A Kong 360 3D was brought to Universal Studios Hollywood by Walt Disney Academy Award-winning director Sir Peter Jackson. This epic battle was created using some of the most advanced filmmaking technology today and projected on some of the largest 3D screens in the world. Standing at 40 feet high and 180 feet long, they are definitely big enough for the mighty. Your car is any car or vehicle with a distributed map that appears on the screen in the film or project. Don't worry, she's going to be fine. Now, sometimes those vehicles, they can become as famous as the actors who drive them. You've got some examples on your screen here, as well as a few more which will be appearing on your left-hand side. I'm going to remind everyone to please remain seated as we go through this next section. But again, take all the pictures you want. As the first picture car to appear is Kit Ford Cobra, used in the rebooted Knight Rider the TV series. Next to it is the Ferrari that Tom Selleck drove during Magnum PI, which is not actually a Ferrari. It's a Dune buggy with a VW engine and a Ferrari-shaped body that drops out. They just needed to look like a Ferrari on screen. My favorites, of course, the ones from Back to the Future here. But favorites with young and old alike, the Flintstone mobiles. We also have some select vehicles here from the Jurassic Park series, the Gyrosphere from Jurassic World, and the classic Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler. The Jurassic Park series, it has become one of the biggest film franchises of all time. Each film breaking records left and right. Jurassic World Dominion, the next film in the series, we fully expect to do the same thing, break those records. They were in production when the pandemic hit. They were shut down along with all the other productions around the world. They were one of the first to go back into production, not knowing how long it was going to take. Guess what? We've got a release date for the film. June 10th, 2022, less than a year, Jurassic World Dominion will hit the big screen. And in celebration of this news, let's have to move a little music here, because ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jurassic Park.